Okay, so your brown sugar is dug out and it's sitting in the bowl with your butter. Now you need a cup of flour. Turn off your cherries if they start boiling. Just let them sit in the sugar for a little while. Flour. The recipe said 1/8 of a teaspoon salt. Honestly, pinch it. It's fine. Just dump it out in your hand. Not too much. Dump it in the stuff. Perfect. And my favorite part of any baking endeavor is using my very favorite utensil, which is my electric mixer. This is honestly my favorite thing in the kitchen. I know that there are more high-tech ones. I know that you can use food processors now for a lot of things. I still love just the classic electric mixer. It's only got 6 speeds and a power boost. That's all you need. So we're going to crumble. Textured crumble. I'm going to bring it over to the camera so you can see. It should look like that. Should be kind of nice and brown, and all the little bits are perfectly round, and except for the bits of brown sugar that you can dig out and eat later. It's the best part about baking, is eating the raw dough. So good. Alright, so we've got our crumble. Our stove on, which should not be on. Oops. We've got our margarita, which is essential to any baking project. And we got our cherries and our raspberries. They're ready. Looks like. The sauce is a little bit more watery than I would like, so you can do a little secret that's not in the recipe. Cornstarch is really powerful stuff. So, get out your smallest measuring spoon. I'm using 1/4 of a teaspoon. Dump it in there. Mix it in really well. I'm going to do a tiny bit more. And then when we scoop out the cherries, we're going to try to leave some of the sauce behind too, because I really don't want it to turn into a gloopy mess. I want it to be really yummy cherry pie. This is partly because I added a little too much water, and partly because these are already marinated in syrup cherries, so they already have a lot of stuff on them. If these were raw cherries, this probably would have worked out better. Which just goes to show, use raw food, it works better, generally. So scoop out your cherries and your raspberries. Drain them a little bit if you've got too much juice. Don't drain all the juice though, because you do want some juice filling for your pie. If you made it your own pie crust, you probably already know this, but most pie crusts need to be refrigerated for at least an hour, which is the other reason that I just went out and got one from the grocery store. I didn't know that until I looked up the recipe, and then it was too late because I was already determined to make cherry pie. So next time I will have a fresh pie crust, and I might even do a show on one. They seem kind of boring though. I think just because they're pie crusts, and personally I think pie crusts are kind of boring by nature. Maybe I'm wrong though. I mean, prove me wrong. We'll see. Anyway. Alright. So you're going to want to preheat your oven. Hopefully you've already done this, but preheat your oven to 375. 350. Make it 350. And spoon your crumble over the top of the pie. Dig out any sugar blobs that you have. Any brown sugar blobs that didn't break up. You can eat those later if you want, or just, you know, feed them to the cat. Or throw them in the trash, whatever. Crumble, crumble. Yummy, yummy. Crumble, crumble. Careful not to spill it all over your oven. It's a mess. It will be a mess. And a big pain in the butt to clean up later. Oh, that's perfect. So this is going to be a very crumbly pie. You can use less ingredients than I did. Use like a 3/4 cup of flour and half a stick of butter and, you know, same amount of sugar if you really like sugar, or half the sugar too, which is 3 tablespoons. But also, I mean, crumble's good. It tastes yummy. It should be fine if there's a lot of crumble. Pretend it's coffee cake. If you do it like me, just be like, hey, I did it on purpose. So I'm going to stick the cherry pie in, and I'll be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so the pie's in the oven. While I was off camera, I played with my crust a little bit, put sugar all around the sides. Really good. I think pie crust is kind of boring, just like I think hamburger meat is kind of boring, so adding little fun things to it, like a little bit of sugar on the top, or, you know, making it pretty with forks or whatever, you know, those are all good ideas. Set your timer to 40 once your pie is in the oven, and we'll be back to see what it looks like when it's finished. Okay, so our cherry pie is done. It's out of the oven, and I'm going to bring it over so you guys can see what it should look like when you're done with yours. There we go. There's our cherry pie. See how the crust is perfect. You can see some of the sugar on the sides, and the crumble looks great. The cherries has solidified nice. This is going to be one good pie. I'm going to go eat it. You guys have a good evening. Hope you had a good time. Talk to you later.